Hello friends and welcome back to another RPG review for 100% completion. Again, this is another Kemco RPG and this one is by EXE Creates again. This one is slightly different this time. It is Dragon Sinker. What's the full name of the game? Can't remember. Dragon Sinker Descendants of Legend. So this one looks slightly different from all the other games. It's more 8-bit style for its pardon me. More 8-bit style for its graphical design. In this one, it starts off, it shows you a dragon that's basically trying to destroy the world, and then like the main character and two of his team start fighting this dragon, and they lose. And basically, you find out that you're a prince, and it's your job to try and rid the world of this dragon. And you go off and you recruit an elf princess and the dwarven king. And as the three of you progress through the world, you join up with various different people and stuff, and ultimately defeat the dragon. It's, again, nothing much for the story. It's just like, yeah, there's a dragon, you have to go and kill it, basically. The good thing about this one that made it different and unique was that this one has a job system. As you progress through the story, like always, you will unlock side quests. These side quests all have recruitable characters in them, and these recruitable characters all come with jobs. So you've got stuff like soldier, knight, chevalier, I think baker was one, merchant, stuff like that, thief. As you unlock these characters, it then gives you those jobs for your other characters to use as well. And then you can put each of the different recruitable characters into parties of 4, rather than using all 3 of the main characters in your main party at once. It kind of gives them all their own party each, which all level up at the same time as your main party does, but they don't get involved in the battles. It's really weird system how it's done. I can't say I've ever used that sort of system before, or seen it in any other RPG. But it kind of works in a way. So there's that. There's the usual shop system where you can buy items. I found that the amount of points that I was earning throughout the game allowed me to buy quite a few like stat boosters towards the end of the game. The game itself, again, is probably about 10 to 15 hours for completion. A lot less if you skip through the dialogue. As I said, the story, again, is very basic. It's not anything to write home about. The music, again, there's like 2 or 3 tracks. It kind of is the way with these games, is that there's like a track for dungeons, there's a track for being in towns, there's a track for the world map, and that's kind of it for music. Which is kind of okay and sad all at the same time. It's like a really weird feeling. It's good in that it's a cheap RPG to just kind of get stuck in if you want to level up, and as I said, there's the job system. But yeah, it's nothing to write home about. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about this game, to be honest. It's just kind of okay. So we'll get straight into the achievement list. Okay, so our achievements. We've got watch the opening, self-explanatory, story related. Gather the 3 main characters. Obviously, there's a spelling mistake there. I suppose it doesn't really matter. They're not going to change it now. Gather the 3 main characters. Master the jobs. So each of the different jobs have levels. You can master each one. I mean, it makes sense. You learn various different skills and stuff like that from them. 5,000 damage with 1 attack. I unlocked that quite early, apparently. So I think that was like a critical hit back attack or something like that. So it kind of makes sense. Obtain a ship. So story related. Change jobs 10 times. That's so once you master a job, you can then change to a different job. You can change to a different job anytime, but like you lose experience points for it unless you've mastered it, I think is how it works. Gathered the 3 legendary weapons. So the idea is that the 3 main characters are trying to obtain the 3 legendary weapons in order to defeat the dragon. There's like a different weapon for each of the different characters. So like the human has a sword, and the elf has a staff, and the dwarf has an axe. Broke out of Gelf prison. Again, that is a story related bit. You get put in prison at some point and you have to break out. Clark joined the party. The Chevalier. This is like right at the end of the game. Clark is one of the 3 party members that the prince goes and fights the dragon with right at the start of the game. And you eventually find Clark in a side quest like right at the end of the game. He doesn't know who he is, and you have to kind of get his memory back. Which also gives you all 16 jobs if you've been doing all the side quests up until that point, which for this game I recommend that you do that anyway. The side quests will all show up in towns when you've done like the story related beat. There are lists online of where all the side quests are as well if you need the extra help with that. 99,999 damage for 1 attack. Pretty easy, to be honest. And a Season of Peace ending. And then you've got World Peace ending, Days Filled with Love, and World Domination. Obviously, the various different endings. I believe Season of Peace is like the normal ending. And then these 3 are the extended endings that you get after you finish like the original ending. Possibly, we'll find out in a second. But basically, you get to make a wish, and you can pick whichever one that you want to pick. Forest Guru. So when you buy items in this game, if you spend a certain amount of money in the shop, you get tickets. You can then use the tickets to play the lottery, and there's a chance to win various different items in the lottery. What I did was I got 99 tickets, saved, and then reloaded that save up every time. So I made like a separate save file, and then reloaded until I got all of these achievements. So Super Owl, Super Gorilla, Regular Owl, Regular Gorilla, Regular Cat, and the Super Cat. They're all like characters that you can use in battle as well. So you can try and get them normally. But yeah, I'd recommend making a separate save file for that and then reloading your first file just to get all those achievements, because it's highly RNG. That is those particular 6. Mastered all the jobs, so self-explanatory. There are 16 jobs as you saw earlier in that other achievement, and then you just got to master them all. Clear all the subquests. Most of them are related to jobs, if I remember correctly. Use all the scrolls in 1 main character. So when you master a job, you get a scroll. You only get 1 scroll. You don't get more than 1. You can buy the scrolls in the shop, and like the in-game shop, not the shops in like the towns. The one that's in the menu. You can buy scrolls, But what I'd recommend doing is every time that you master a job, you then use the scroll on one character, whichever one you pick. I picked the main character, the prince. It just made more sense. Swap teams 50 times, so you can swap teams in battle. It's just a matter of pressing a button and the team will swap. I believe there was like a cooldown on it, so it was a case of swapping teams, fighting whatever it was that was there, and then next battle and so on and so forth. Legendary heroes from the Grow New Trial. I can't remember what that is. I think that is where I am now, potentially. It's like a end game sort of tower thing that you can do, for what I remember. Yeah, and then once you get to certain levels, you fight certain bosses. So there's the human hero, the archdemon general, Datus, and then lastly you have 10 rounds against Ina in battle. Ina is the goddess of the game. She's incredibly hard. This changes the completion from what I remember now, looking at it, from being like 10 to 15 hours to 20, 25. Because Ina's so hard, you have to spend a lot of time leveling up, improving your characters, taking all the stats up, etc, etc. The previous boss, Datus, is another dragon. There's a chance when you fight him and defeat him, he drops a stat increasing item, which is obviously useful for building up your character and stuff like that. So it's basically a case of defeating that boss over and over and over again, because you can fight him over and over and over again, until you get to a point where you can defeat Ina 10 rounds in battle. I don't recommend using the strongest skill for the prince if you're using the prince for it. There's one before that that's like a 10 strike attack or something like that. 10 or 20 strike attack, which does more damage than his supposedly most powerful attack. His most powerful attack will do maximum damage, but it only hits once. Whereas his second to last does like 10 or 20 hits of like 40, 50,000. So, yeah. That's the achievements for Dragon Sinker Descendants of Legend. Personally, this one was better than like Seek Hearts was, and As Divine, Menace and Kimura and stuff like that. Just because of the job system. The job system really makes the game a lot better. The sequel to this, Dragon Lapis, I thought was a lot better. But yeah, this one gets a pass. I'd say it's definitely better than those other games. So yeah, that was Dragon Sinker Descendants of Legend review, 100% completion. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.